Hi, I'm Anjali. This is a story about a time I felt lost and confused and disappointed in myself. I had just become a certified EMT, and this was my first major trauma call. It was utter chaos when we reached the scene of the accident, with a spinal immobilization board twice my size clutched under one arm, and a jump bag twice my weight thrown over the other. I hobbled down the highway, my stethoscope swinging from side to side. I was assigned to the youngest son of the family in the main car of the accident, while my crew chief took the unresponsive father. I was completely astonished and overwhelmed by the scale of destruction. I had never seen such a serious car crash with such serious injuries up close before. Airway clear? Check. Breathing? Check. Circulation? He has a pulse, but it's irregular. He was drifting in and out of consciousness. The deep lacerations on his leg and bruising on his head were not a good sign. I kept talking to him, asking him questions, doing everything I knew to keep him awake and alive. He's 5 years old. His favorite color is blue. He wants a Superman figurine for Christmas. EMT, what's your report? A paramedic suddenly shouted at me. So focused on the job at hand, I jumped, flustered by the sudden noise. I opened my mouth to respond, but nothing came out. Only in dreams had I experienced not being able to execute something my mind was commanding me to do. Talk! Talk! My mind shouted at me, but I could only stare back at the paramedic, fear in my eyes, without a sound. When I first became an emergency medical technician, I thought I would be a rock star. I'm generally a great test taker who thrives in high-pressure environments. I passed all of my EMT skills tests with flying colors and achieved a perfect score on my practical exam. I was the youngest among my classmates to get certified. I had built up my expectations impossibly high. What I failed to realize was that the book smarts don't equal real-world experience, and all the hours spent poring over books studying, religiously watching medical documentaries, and obsessing over Grey's Anatomy cases wouldn't help me at crucial moments like this. A boy was lying on the ground in critical condition, yet I couldn't even function enough to save him. My confidence came crashing down. I was far from a rock star. I was just a rookie. Soon, the paramedic gave up and started assessing my patient himself. I stood there, shocked at my incompetence, upset at my failure to communicate at a critical time. I was crushed. In the weeks following, I dreaded even the notion of going on another call. I had failed, and I was scared to fail again. But I soon realized that there was no replacement for real field experience, and I was not going to improve by agonizing over what seemed at the time to be the most catastrophic moment of my life. The only way to conquer my inadequacy in real emergencies was to take risks and actually perform the procedures when it counted, not on a dummy, but when someone's life was actually at stake. Now, 2 whole years later, I keep my cool in high-stress environments that before would have overwhelmed me. I communicate clearly and use my skills without hesitation to help my patients. Every time another call comes in, I readily take on the new challenge to prove myself how far I have come, and I consistently strive to learn more and improve my skills by volunteering to take vitals, do the patient assessment, or determine the primary treatment plan. Sometimes the work is hard to mentally digest. I once had to perform CPR on a classmate's grandfather. Doing CPR on a real person is difficult, let alone on somebody that I know and used to see walking joyfully around the neighborhood. However, no matter the difficulty, I persevere. Ultimately, it's extremely fulfilling to know that I put every ounce of my being into helping someone. From this incident, I have come to understand the real value of authentic experience. I also learned a valuable lesson about pushing past difficulty to achieve success. I found myself questioning whether all my goals and dreams of becoming a doctor were even a right fit for me. But look at me now, almost halfway through my freshman year at Penn State, in a medical program of my dreams, where I'll be going to med school in 3 years. Now, I know that sometimes in order to follow your dreams, or even see if those dreams are a right fit for you, you have to push yourself past any initial insecurities or fears and actually get your feet wet. And as cliche as this sounds, never, ever, ever give up on your dreams. Thanks for watching.